I grew up in a very creative environment, so it's always been part of who I am. The hearts came about. I've always had a heart fetish. One of the first gifts that I ever got as a little girl, I was probably 4 years old, was a little birthstone ring with a heart on it. And everyone who loves me always gives me hearts. My friends, my family, they've always given me hearts. So it's just something that's always been there. I started making them, sculpting them in polymer clay, because I also have a fetish with boxes and little secrets, like little elements inside the boxes. So I actually made a little box for my husband as a little love note. And people would see it and they would like it. So I started making them for my friends, and then I learned about the stones that you can cover in polymer clay and make little boxes out of them. And I loved that concept, but I didn't like the shape of a stone, and I didn't like the idea of opening a box and there's a rock inside or there's nothing inside. So that I developed the heart inside of a heart and a little secret message on the heart, just experimenting with that, the little stones. And my friends would see them, so I would make them for their birthdays or a special event, and then it was just natural for me to start selling them. What I didn't expect is that people contact me online to make memorial hearts for them. That's probably my largest request, is to create, either a friend has had someone pass and this friend is buying it for that friend because they've had a death in the family, or it's a father who's passed, and those are the ones that are so touching to me, because to me that's what it's about. It's about a good, fond memory, and maybe that person isn't here anymore, but it's nice to be able to have something that you can touch and say, this person really was here. And so that's what I've been working on most recently, but it's fun creating the hearts. The shape is fun. It makes people happy. It makes me happy to create them. So that's why I make them, because they're fun. I started on Etsy. Etsy. I'm from the South, so it's hard for me to say that word. But I started there and would sell my hearts and charms. I also do some metal work there, but I work full time. And if you're going to be on Etsy, I feel like you need to give it the attention that it needs, and you need to be listing things, and they've changed the dynamics a little bit on Etsy, so it's a little easier, but for me I just didn't have the time to keep up with all of it. So I had my own website built, and so I sell online on tejaesart.com. I work as a product manager for a mail order catalog, and what my job is to conceive ideas to be printed onto paper. So it's a very fun job, and it helps me get my creativeness out in a different way. But I still have a working studio at home, and I try out everything. So I started making charms in polymer clay, and they weren't as sturdy as I wanted them to be, so I found a caster that would cast them in silver or gold or whatever. So I do that. I paint. I work in mixed media, doing collages. I've worked on art journal books, and of course I teach on Craft EDU some of the things that I make. My heart class is on there, and I want to do more of that in the future. It's just time. I have a full-time job, so it's hard to fit everything in.